So, bad news if you're a Johnny Depp fan. It looks like it has finally been confirmed by longtime producer Jerry Bruckheimer that there will, in fact, be no Johnny Depp in the upcoming Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. That's very,
Imagine
very
my
sad.
shock.
Shocking.
I mean, come on.
It says, you don't know, you really don't know, he told CB.com, because with Top Gun, you have an actor who is iconic and brilliant. Okay, how is Johnny Depp not those things? I'm going to continue.
I don't think he's trying to imply Johnny Depp isn't those things.
He says, and how many movies does he does before Top Gun? I can't tell you, but we're going to reboot Pirates, so that's easier to put together because you don't have to wait for certain actors.
That is actually shady.
Yeah.
When you say it in that
certain
tone.
actors.
When you say it in that tone of voice, that made me realize he was throwing shade. And they weren't going to get Johnny Depp anyway because they can't pay for him, but
yes.
They have themselves to blame for that, obviously, because they fell for the Me Too hype around Amber Heard to begin with.
Russell in the chat says Rob Zombie should play Captain Jack Sparrow. That's an idea. Actually,
that's not gonna happen. They're gonna get Timothy Chalamet or somebody.
Oh, you're honestly, you're right. Because remember the beginning of Wonka on the ship?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna get someone that looks more Tinkerbell and less Captain Hook.
Yeah. But they didn't say it's gonna be a female-led reboot. They are implying this is actually gonna be a sequel.
They're still gonna get someone that's more Tinkerbell and less Captain Hook.
Yes.
But I mean, it's gonna piss people off because if you're not gonna have Johnny Depp, why not just replace the lead character? Why do you have to recast Jack Sparrow and rub salt into the wound? You know?
Chat, who is suitably quirky and charismatic enough to play that role?
Someone in the chat said Ian Crossland.
Ooh, I would love that.
I actually think that would kind of be
Pirates
hilarious.
of the Crosslands.
We got a
But I don't think they would change the name.
from Sky Wilker. He said, dying to hear Phil's opinion of a band named Dogma. Love the sound, hate the fake mystery crap. Deaf not for the more prudish, but I just like the sound and care less about the image/lyrics.
Are they a metal band? I'm going to check, so I'm going to...
I guess you've never heard of them.
No, I have not. So I don't know. I will check them out, and you can ask me again next week to give you a
We'll
review.
circle back on that.
Yes. Shia LaBeouf?
Sucky, that bad boy.
Shia LaBeouf.
They already tried to-
He also got canceled.
He
He has a
also-
pending trial for sexual battery. That's not going to happen.
Shia LaBeouf already kind of ruined Indiana Jones, just not as bad as modern as the most recent Indiana Jones.
I'm telling you, they're going to pick Timothy Chalamet.
Honestly,
He has scurvy.
Honestly, you're probably right. Also, I saw somebody basically posting pictures that he put on some weight, talking
really?
about impending twink death.
Like, put on some weight as in he's getting fat, or is he putting on muscle finally?
His neck doesn't look like a straw.
Is he going through second puberty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like his neck doesn't look like a broken
for him.
straw anymore.
Good for him.
So, okay, the Dogma band is hilarious. They look like they're Dogma _ band on Instagram, and they dress up like black metal nuns. I can't even wait now. So anyways, go ahead.
This part made me laugh. This says, female-led Disney movies haven't been all that successful, and Bob Iger is reported to have said Disney is bringing back The Boys.
I would love to see
when and where did he say that?
I would love to see Bob Iger as soon as the cameras are off and everybody leaves the office, he's like boys. He just plays poker all night and smokes cigars.
He's just the most raging chauvinist ever, secretly.
He's like, hey Toots, bring me a drink here.
Bob Iger is allegedly bringing back male-centered narratives after facing backlash for politicizing their films. A Disney exec claims the audience has equated perceived messaging in a film with its quality, leading to criticism of female empowerment in movies like Star Wars and the Marvels. It's unclear if this pivot toward male-centered stories will be successful.
Let's get Steve Buscemi
as the same creatives would be in charge. Okay, here's a horrible, which one would you rather have? A panicky male lead or a girl boss lead? Which one is worse?
Panicky male lead is worse. But I don't know.
Actually, we should do this as a poll in the chat. I want to ask you guys.
What would you prefer?
I feel like
I'd rather watch
the panicky male lead can be done in a way that's okay.
Well, so I mean, both can be done well. Can be done okay if it's done well. That's the problem.
Can we do
Well,
a
as long as it's
panicky
not-
female lead?
I mean, I think that
That's honestly, yes, that's what Argyle was to
had
start,
that.
and it was fantastic. But then by the midway point of the movie, poof, script writing magic. She's no longer panicky female lead.
Yeah.
She's girl boss lead. And
But
you
there
can
was a
literally hear me in the theater. I'm like,
But it made sense in the plot, at least.
Yes.
The way that she evolved as a character. But they also had a panicky female co-star in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, she was like a thief, but she just wasn't used to the world of espionage. So she was like the perfect balance of like good at what she does,
Sure.
but she doesn't just get to enter this completely new environment and pick it up perfectly. And I
Okay.
said that when
Start
we
the
were,
poll, start the poll.
When I was done with when we were done with that movie, I said if they had done Indiana Jones 5 the way they did Mission Impossible 7, it would have been leagues better. Yes. I look. I like Shia LaBeouf in the Transformers movies. He's a panicky male lead. I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
He still gets to kind of save the day. He also gets the moment. There's this great moment, and everybody can hate the second Transformers movie all they want, but it's this part where it's very true to real life, and they would never do it now.
Is
where-
Megan Fox in the second one?
Yes.
Okay.
So Michaela, that's Megan Fox, keeps wanting to know, like, trying to get him to say "I love you," and he won't say it. Because, man, afraid of commitment, very, common story.
Okay.
By the end of the movie, like, he's dead and gets brought back to life. And while he's dead, she says, "I love you." And then finally he says, "I love you," after she gets brought back to life. She goes, "You said it." He goes, "You said it first." So he got one over on her. But it was sweet in the moment, or at least it was meant to be sweet if the movie wasn't dog shit.
Well,
but
yeah.
I love it.
But those dynamics are always like fun to watch, though.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
those kind of like playful things and stuff like that. That's endearing, and that's also like exemplary of like healthy male female relationship and
Back and forth.
dynamic and back and forth, and that's something that the left
Oh, wow.
doesn't understand nowadays. What?
So this Disney executive said, I mean, they're not named. We don't know who it is, but they said, make better movies becomes code for make movies that confirm regressive gender stereotypes.
Yes.
Or put
Yes.
men front and center in the narrative.
Yes.
Which is what you're seeing now.
Maybe.
And what Bob Iger's pivot is about right now. That sounds like a good thing.
No,
Yes.
here's the thing. When you revert back to the traditional roles and you don't get hampered with thoughts of what the identity of the person matters, it allows you to focus on the actual script.
Yes.
The reason why straight white male characters do so well is because they don't have to think about all the eccentricities that come along with
they're
identity
not
politics.
distracting.
They're not distracting. Exactly. It's
They're
perfect.
It's like they like, and this goes to like one of the things that we're saying is like bring back like aspirational characters so that way you can get lost in the story and not be thinking about your own shortcomings and blah 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 and how have you failed to be anti-racist or how have you failed to be feminist or whatever. Like that's all kinds of, there's all these things that are mixed in with all these political messages, and it's like when you make
the story gets lost.
yeah, when you make it the actually boring, quote unquote, normal, then it can be about the story and not about the character's unique dynamic with their own identity.
Yep.
Like the identity might not be the identity of the person shouldn't be the focus of the story. The story should be the story.
Yep. I don't care.
Luscious
Oh, go ahead.
Solution, he sent $20. Sydney Sweeney in a sexy pirate uniform. The cleavage will keep the men and women distracted long enough to watch the movie, even though we know the movie will suck.
Honestly, I say just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Captain
she-
Jackie Sparrow starring Sydney Sweeney. Just do it.
After,
You're screwed either way.
After Madam Web, I don't think she wants to be in these franchises anymore.
I don't want Ryan Reynolds as Jack Sparrow. It's just too like when we were so somebody made a really interesting observation. They said that when they watched the trailer for Fall Guy, it's like somebody said it's like they wrote the role for Ryan Reynolds and he said no.
I'm kind of glad about that.
Yeah,
I don't like Ryan Reynolds.
Because Ryan Gosling's good in that.
I like
He's good in
Ryan
that.
Gosling, not Ryan Reynolds.
And here's the thing, like panicky male lead is one of those things where it's less, it runs less of a risk of being mean spirited. So the girl boss trope tends to be mean spirited towards men.
It's all mean-spirited
whereas
because-
the panicky male lead tends to be a bit self-deprecating, but not necessarily overtly supportive of women, unless there is also the strong female character that keeps putting him in his place. As long as you have the panicky male lead, but you don't have a woman putting him in his place all the time.
Girl bossing is a woman. It's a woman splaining what a man is. That's what it is.
Ooh, I like this one. Helena Bonham Carter as a pirate. Yes, she could play a pirate. She'd be good in that. Lana Del Rey as a pirate.
That would be good.
You're always going to get, when you have like girl bossing, there's always going to be that tinge of malice in it, because that's the way that women like assert themselves. It's social interpersonal stuff where because of the whole like men, there's always a threat of violence. Men can joke around in a different way because it becomes serious when the physical part starts to become obvious, when dudes start to puff up, when dudes stand up. Okay, that joke was too much. Okay, women don't have that, so that the way that the interpersonal dynamic is different. So when a woman is trying to act like a girl boss, which is like a man, it's going to come off like a feminine version of a man, and that's what it is.
That type of bravado just doesn't tend to work in those situations.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We'll have to wait and see. I still say go with Steve Buscemi.
I mean, I think either way, whether you go with a panicky male lead or a girl boss lead, you're still not giving audiences what they want. And we can see that every movie that not just men, but also women really love, there is a male character that is strong, sacrifices his life or puts his life on the line to protect and save other people. Yep. Do you think
that's
what people want?
Comes back to the idea there's that quote that always Chris Rock said it years ago, and it kind of comes up ever so often when it says only women and dogs are loved unconditionally, men are loved on the condition that you provide.
Yeah.
That you provide something. Maybe that's why it works works well for men, is because you understand that your desire to act like that is because the society requires that of you, whereas when a woman does it, it seems unrealistic because nobody is requiring women in society to behave that way.
Yes, absolutely. Like, look, women have the magical power of making more humans. And that's why men do everything they have done in history to protect and to have access to women. Like, it's all about like the fact that women can do that. Men don't have that ability. So like the way that we look at men compared to women is just totally different. And so when women try to act like men, it just kind of comes off as not attractive to people.
I was watching this old episode of Third Watch last night, and there's this character, she's like a sergeant in an anti-crime unit. And this show came out in like 1999, but this episode's from 2004. And she's always running her mouth. She's got bravado. She's always, yelling at people, but more in like the professional sense. She's got a temper, but she's not necessarily a bad person inherently. But there's a scene where she gets her ass kicked by this dude who's like twice her size. Nowadays, I don't think that they would run that scene the same way. Because it just makes sense. The dude just literally picks her up by the shoulders off the ground and throws her against a wall. And she doesn't just start beating him up. Right. So, but even when she gets saved by other people in the unit, she ends up, because she's been humiliated, she gets angry and starts yelling at people, which felt very real to me. It would have been one thing for her character to humble herself there, but nothing in her personality before that lends you to believe that she would ever do that. So you're still allowed to show her as multidimensional. She still gets to be shown as somebody who goes to her job every day and does her best, but she's flawed. And she's not just going to beat up a dude twice her size because the script says so.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.